Good afternoon. Welcome to this episode. Today's episode of Speaking Out Exposing Corruption and Incompetence. I'm having some technical difficulties, so let me know if you are hearing me before I continue. Just give me a thumbs up to let me know if I am being heard. Um, I it's okay. Right. Somebody says sound okay now. I don't know what happened. Something has been going on all afternoon as I try to schedule the program. So good. Thank you, student, for acknowledging that you can hear and you can see me. So welcome to this afternoon's episode. Today is Wednesday. What day? Today is the 26th day of February, 2025. So welcome to today's episode of Speaking Out, Exposing Corruption and Incompetence. We're here this afternoon because, as I indicated on the last day, that is Monday, day before yesterday, when we met, I had an appointment in the court. I ain't missing no court. I had court appointment today, and I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to give you a rundown. As much as I am permitted to say, I will let you know. They don't want to hear the truth, They don't want to hear the truth, so I'm going to come and I'm going to give you the truth. I'm going to tell you what goes on or what went on without violating any law. Now, I want you to know that I made special efforts to be here this afternoon. At one stage, I thought I would not have been able to make it because I was in Georgetown about 2 to 30 time. I was still trying to get some stuff done, but the Lord is with us. So here I am. Mr. Conway is already in the studio to bring you the credible, valuable information on what is going on in the place. We are speaking out against corruption and incompetence, and we will continue to do so. Because of the time, as I said, I had some issues. So the force forces we scheduled just after 3 o'clock Guyana time. That's just after 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And then I had some issues. So I had to leave. And once you leave the studio, you get back in. The persons who were there first are knocked out. I would normally make a record of the students. I was unable to do so today. So we're going to skip the roll call and we're going to go straight into some announcements. And then we're going to get on with it. Now, in terms of the announcement, let me tell you, first, let me tell you, we normally start with a sad announcement. And this is not police related, not police or anyone that some of you may know. But I learned this morning, I know Percy and these guys, the older guys, CC and them around, of the death of Jerry Butler. You remember Jerry Butler that's singing, Take It Easy or Make It Easy on Yourself, and all those beautiful songs in the 70s. Jerry died recently. I saw it this morning. Jerry Butler died. We told you last Monday while we were on the air that it was announced that Roberta Flack, Grammy Award-winning singer, died. That was on Monday. Then we learned this morning, I said Jerry Butler. Also, this Chris Jasper from the Isley Brothers. The Isley Brothers are what you want to call it. Chris Jasper passed away too. And then Gwen McCrae. Gwen McCrae had some a beautiful song. Rock Me is with Robert McCrae, not Robert, the other rookie, or husband, I think it was. So those famous singers passed away. Gwen McCrae, Roberta Flack, Chris Jasper, and Jerry Butler. Jerry Butler has some beautiful, the Iceman. Yes, Annette, the Iceman. Jerry Butler was known as the Iceman. Find yourself another girl. Beautiful, man, beautiful music. So they have all transitioned. And I learned coming closer, Kelly Saul, the older TSU men may remember during the days of Franchette Duncan Clark. Kelly Saul was a frequent visitor to the TSU. And I learned this morning that Kelly died. I think his funeral, his cremation, gonna be on Friday. But yeah, service at the St. George's Cathedral sometime during the morning, and then he's gonna be cremated in the afternoon. So condolences to the relatives, friends, and all those persons who have deceased. You know, as we continue to say, no matter how famous you are, that day will surely come. That day will come. You could duck, you could run, you could tell lie upon people, you could go and give false testimony, you could do all those things. But the day will come for all of us. And that is why I continue to say that death is one of the most irrational fear, or the fear of death is perhaps one of the most irrational fears that we have, because we all know that we have to go someday. Right? You know, I think some passages in the Bible say a man that is born of a woman has but a short time to live. Yeah, we all have to go someday. So all those who thieving, conniving, the corruption and all the money, they're carrying their money with them, you know. All the money they're depriving poor people, they are not going to take it with them. So that is by way of announcement for the cricketers. I got to tell you all, Afghanistan virtually knocked England out of the Champions Trophy today. Afghanistan, lowly Afghanistan, knocked England out of the Champions Trophy. England's second consecutive loss, and with this, the format in this trophy, you got no time to recover. So the maximum point England can get now in that group is 2, and you have 2 teams already with 3 points, Australia and South Africa. So bye-bye, England. Bye-bye, England. So, you know, cricket is a game of glorious uncertainties. If many of us were betting, men and women, we would have said this is England's game, especially when it started and Afghanistan was struggling. I think they had 4 wickets down for a little bit. But 100 from one of the guys, I can't remember his name now, 100 and a big 100. And of course, Rashid and those Noor and those things. England fell short by 10 runs or something like that. So Afghanistan defeated England today in the Champions Trophy. What a game. What a game. I wasn't able to look at it live, but I followed it on my phone on Cricinfo. I followed it on Cricinfo. Now, for some birthday greetings, let me say, another death I should have announced. Another death. Cricketers will remember the long-time Barbies cricket coach, Adrian Amsterdam. Adrian Amsterdam was a well-known cricket coach in Barbies. He passed away, I think it was yesterday, at least recently, Adrian passed on. This is a big blow to the cricket fraternity. And again, condolences to the relatives, friends of all those persons. Birthday wishes. We don't have any birthday listed for today. I mentioned Glenn McCrae. I mentioned Glenn McCrae. Yesterday was the anniversary of a very loyal student, Ridley Angel. Ridley had his birthday yesterday. We did say advanced birthday greetings to him. And now we want to say belated birthday greetings to Ridley. And retired woman Inspector Colette Evans is celebrating a birthday tomorrow. So advanced birthday greetings to her. Also celebrating a birthday soon, it will be retired Woman Assistant Commissioner Claire Jarvis. She is on Friday the 28th. The Friday 28th. But I have a strange one for you. I have a strange one. Superintendent Marlon Taylor. Well, I hope he's still superintendent because I know they had promotions today. We're going to talk about that just now. Superintendent Marlon Taylor was born on the 29th of February. When I get on 29th of February this year, he born a year, was a leap year. But maybe some will say maybe that's why he was so troublesome. Marlon is a friend, but why he was so troublesome. So Marlon should have been on the 29th. We don't have a 29th this year. So the man get off, he ain't gonna celebrate, he ain't gonna buy drinks this year. You gotta wait till next 3-4 years before he will be able to celebrate a birthday on the 29th of February. So those are the announcements in terms of birthdays. And let me say this quote again. I have a quote here. When you destroy someone's life with lies, take it as a loan. It will come back to you with interest. Let me say, well, even when you destroy or you attempt to destroy someone's life with lies, take it as a loan, and it will come back to you with interest. right? Somebody asked about anti-COMC. We mentioned anti-COMC on Monday. This is a student who perhaps wasn't in class on Monday, because Monday we mentioned anti-COMC's death and all of those. So yeah, I gotta give you all one quote. You know, a next quote that I got yesterday or sometime, Mr. Jordan on CAMS TV last where we were here on Monday, we talked about the statement from the minister with responsibility to finance, Ashni Singh. Because he's not the finance minister, you know. Let me understand it clearly. They don't have a finance minister now. He's the minister with responsibility for finance, right? He said, in answer to a question in Parliament, he said 2,832 public servants retired since this government came in to power in 2020. And I said, well, maybe it's more than that and so on. Well, Mr. Winston Jordan indicated that maybe I did not listen to him on Thursday, because I did not. I traveled in the country on Wednesday, and Thursday was a busy day. Normally, I don't miss Winston. And then the thing is, I hadn't the time to go and look at it on YouTube. So he sent me the YouTube recording, and I looked at it. My God. I tell you, I'm going to tell you, student, last week, Thursday the 20th, Kedaki Amsterdam's program, Guyana's Morning Time, where Mr. Jordan appears, the former finance minister, appears on Thursdays. That is a must listen, because he tells you about the public service, the civil service, and he tells you the organizations that comprise the public service. And as we have suggested, this traditional public service that the minister Ashni Singh reported on does not include teachers, does not include the discipline services. And therefore, we are on some other organizations. And we know that a lot of people from those organizations gone off since 2022. And, you know, again, it's a statement analysis, because I think he was asked to tell them the number of people who resigned. And so maybe he might have confined his response to those who resigned. Some of them might walk off the job. That is not resignation. And I am aware, I know many, many hundreds of policemen and women have walked off the job since 2020. And I suspect other organizations too. So when he gave us a figure of 2,832, it might be double that. Might be double that when you take all those agencies into consideration. Yeah, so I thought I'll mention that. And Winston said, and this is a quote I want to tell you. Winston said, he said, book sense without common sense is nonsense. I never heard that one before, to be truthful. He said book sense without common sense is nonsense. And we've seen the playing out every day. Because enough of them tell you that they've been to QC and they've been to all kind of fancy schools. Some of them been to IFLOT University and all of those places. But some of them get book sense, some of them get no sense at all. Some of them don't get nonsense. But book sense without common sense is nonsense. Remember that. And let me bring in Mr. Conway now to give you his opening remarks. CC, welcome, brother. I know you have to come this afternoon, and I have to bring you in now to pull you away from your afternoon activities. But the interest of the students, I think we owe it to them not to miss today. You're welcome in remarks, my brother.
Yeah, happy to be in the land of the living to do God's work. I remember the book sense, where they say common sense was long before book sense, So I wish to express my deepest sympathy to those the relatives and friends and family of those persons who passed away. And happy birthday to the guy who will be celebrating on the 29th. And I know him well, very, very, very mischievous, but a good police, But we have a lot to deal with, so let's get on with it.
Yeah, let's get on. And in the rush to get into the program, I neglected to do our renowned welcome to say what a wonderful day today is. And it is good to be in the land of the living. And we always have to give praise and thanks for being in the land of the living. We are privileged to be here this afternoon. Now let me go into this first thing that I want to mention. One of the reasons why we did not have the program at 12 o'clock Guyana time, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time today, because I had court this morning at 9. Remember last week, Friday, I went to court. I'm in Guyana. I came in the country for the sole purpose of attending court on the 21st of this month. When the matter was heard, this 3 charges of sexual assault against me, raises alleged that I robbed a police officer's leg during the course of a meeting. The trial started on the 28th of January, and I was present then. It should have been the 27th and the 28th. The magistrates had training, so there was no trial on the 27th. Trial commenced on the 28th with the complainant giving evidence. The matter was adjourned on that day to the 7th day of March. That's next week, Friday, I think, 7th of March, right? And at that time, on the 28th of January, one of my lawyers, Dr. Dexter Todd, sought permission for me to attend virtually. That permission was granted by the magistrate for me to attend virtually. I decided that I don't want no virtual trial at that stage. I want to come and be in court to listen and face my accuser and to be able to interact with my attorneys. And a good thing I did that. I came in on the 19th, Wednesday the 19th. So that's why we had no class Wednesday as well. The Thursday night, Thursday the 20th, the police issued a release to say that I'm to be arraigned in court on the morning of the 24th with some other sexual offense charge. Right? Shocking, nobody told me anything. So last Friday, the 21st, I turned up in court. Of course, the whole media corps was there after they put out this press release. The whole media corps was there. I went. The trial, as I said, started. Evidence given by the virtual complainant. And when I finished, my lawyers, we went over to Brickdam because we saw this nonsense, the release that they gave. We went over to Brickdam to the commander. At Brickdam, then I was told about this complaint that, well, let me tell you, give the sequence. I went in there. An allegation was put to me by one of the detectives there from CID headquarters. I denied the allegation. They went through the process. The allegation basically is what they call anonymity of complainant. Anonymity of complainant. Never heard that before. They said that I revealed the name of the complainant in the sexual offense matter on the 25th of August, 2024 on Facebook. So that is the charge. I was charged on Friday. I was put by the police on $200,000 bail. I got through the thing, they take my fingerprint, they take my photograph, and all of that. But I want to remind them that I'm fully familiar with the section of the Police Act 1601, which relates to fingerprint and photograph. So down the road, I'm going to deal with them, right? Down the road. Don't let me say too much now, but we can deal with them in due course. Now, $200,000 bail. I find the bail. I was released. Bail to go to court. Accounted bail receipt 8:30 this morning, Georgetown Magistrate Court 1. 8:30 on the 26th of February, Georgetown Magistrate Court 1. So I turn up early this morning. You know me. The East Coast traffic can be very, very crowded, very slow in the morning. So I left very early. And I reached there very early this morning. So when I got there this morning, Court 1, I was pleased to see, happy to see many of my former colleagues there to give support. We had people in the person of commissioners, deputy commissioners, assistant commissioner, other senior ranks were there to give moral support. And I appreciate that very, very much. They came and they gave me the support. Matter call was called very early. Very early matter call. The magistrate then read the charge to me. But let me tell you when the matter call, this place is what Guyana is a strange place. I am charged with anonymity of complainant. They got a section, I think it's 62.3 of the Sexual Offences Act, so you can't reveal the name of a complainant in a sexual offense charge. So I was charged. This morning, the 26th of February, when my name was called, Paul Slow, I was in court already. Paul Slow, I answer. And would you believe that the orderly and the people they called out the name of the report, the person, the complainant, loudly 3 times in court and outside. Let me repeat that. I know I might be now putting those ranks in trouble, but I got to mention it. Because I am charged with anonymity of complainant, in that it is alleged that I disclosed the name of the complainant on social media on the 25th of August, 2024. This morning when they called me name, Paul Slow, I said present. Then they orderly called the complainant's name 3 times. And then the person, the next police door relay, he called outside 3 times. They called the complainant name and said, no answer, no appearance of the complainant. But I had a good chuckle as I was there. Because the first thing, this matter is called for the first time today. I don't know that a complainant is required to be there when the matter is called now. I don't know. Things have changed dramatically. Maybe that's what happens now. But I was shocked when they called him the person's name. And then my lawyer, one of my lawyers, Ms. Don Cush, pointed out that to the magistrate. And the magistrate said she noted it, but she, in reading the charge, will not call the person's name. She's going to only use the initial. So the magistrate read the charge, and even though the complainant's name is mentioned in the charge, you got to mention the complainant's name, the magistrate did not call out the complainant's name, because remember, there are people in court. My supporters and others were in court. I was asked to plead. I pleaded not guilty. Now, it simply means, as I had explained before, I wasn't certain whether the charge was an indictable charge or whether the charge was a summary charge. And I indicated to you on the last occasion that I will know that today. So the fact that the charge was read to me, I was asked to plead to the charge, and I pled not guilty. It means that the charge is a summary charge. We teaching. Policemen are meeting me all over the place and thanking me. It's a summary charge, right? Because as I explained before, if it had been an indictable charge, then the person someone would have had to swear to the information. It would have been a complaint upon oath, as which says the person who is instituting the charge would have had to go into the witness box and swear to the information. After which the magistrate would have read the charge to me, and then the magistrate would have indicated that the charge is indictable and I do not have to plead. Right? So tune in. So therefore, the fact that the magistrate read the charge to me, right, and asked me by plea, it means that the charge is a summary charge to be, let me explain a little further. When a charge is an indictable charge and continues indictable, that is judge and jury got to deal with it. The magistrate would conduct a preliminary inquiry, not a trial, a preliminary inquiry to determine if there is sufficient evidence to have you indicted, to have you committed to stand, indicted to stand trial in the High Court in front of a judge and jury. So the fact that it is a summary charge, it means that the magistrate or a magistrate will conduct the trial into the charge, right? Tessa can deal with it just now, man. No, Tessa, don't jump the tongue. If one of the students, Tessa, is asking if it's a summary charge, why so much bail? I can deal with all of them, man. I can educate the students this afternoon. See, she can get the batin in due time, but I can educate the students. So the magistrate then, after I read the charge, said not guilty. Then after that, the question of bail will come up. So my lawyer, one of my lawyers, Ms. Kush, got up and made an application for bail. Of course, you tell them who Parslow is, 37 years in the police force, unblemished character. The fact that all this thing started in 2021, all the legal trouble started in 2021, give a background. The fact that I have 2 national awards, Kasi Crown of Honor and Discipline Service Medal, and all of that, right? and that I have been traveling in and out of the country to attend all the case. I'm not a flight risk and all of that. Then the magistrate asked the prosecutor if there was any objection to bail. And the prosecutor said that they have no objection to bail. And the magistrate then decided that I should go on $50,000 bail. So Tessa, I think that answers your question. But let me tell you about the $200,000 bail that I was put on Friday. They jump around. When I asked about bail, the inspector said, you got to go and talk to his superiors. He went and he gave the impression he spoke to the commander. And when he came back to tell me, because I was there with Mr. Hughes and Dr. Dexter Todd, when he came back to say $200,000 bail, Dr. Todd said, but why do all this, why is actually substantial bail? And he said, well, he only carrying out orders. Okay. I have an issue. Okay, let me put it. Okay. One moment. If you're hearing me, I'm getting some problems with the camera. I'm trying to get it fixed. I'm trying to get it fixed. I'm trying to get it fixed. Let me leave the studio and come back in. All right, folks, we had a little glitch there with my camera. I know what happened. We just decided maybe, and it's freezing again. So let me see what is happening here. The camera is frozen again. So let me take it out. I think you're hearing me, but you're not able to see me because of this camera. Let me put on the other camera and see. All right, let me make some adjustments to this. I am using the other camera now. All right, so I am saying that there was some dancing because the rank came and said that he was, then it transpired. My information is, let me tell you how the information is that the crime chief, Deputy Commissioner Blanham, decided, he made the decision for me to be put on $200,000 bail. The crime chief made the decision for me to be put on $200,000 bail. And this morning, when I went to court, the court put me on the same charge, on $50,000 bail. I am to return on the 5th of March for discovery or disclosure, because the prosecutor who attended virtually indicated that she would be ready with all the statements in this charge on the 5th. So I'm expected to return on the 5th, and then they're going to give me the statement. So I'm going to see what is the case that they have against me. And then after then, I guess they're going to set the report and trial and all of that. So that is, in a nutshell, what transpired. Now, the question about the bail, as someone is asking, I told you that last Friday when I went there, the young police told me, once I produced the GR, the general receipt, he told me that I have to keep that until the trial is over. And I had to tell him, I said, no, sir, that is not so. I have to keep this until I appear in court, because once, this is police bail, this is station bail for me to appear in court. And once I appear in court in compliance with the conditions of the bail, the money got to be returned to me. And then he said, well, yeah. So when I got there this morning after I posted bail, the $50,000 bail, then it's run around now because the prosecutor who would endorse the bail receipt the one that I paid the $200,000 on, was not in court. That person was there virtually, and that person was required. So I was run around now to get someone to endorse the bail receipt to say that I appeared in court as ordered by the bail as a condition of the bail. So I could get back with $200,000. Long story short, may I get it back yet? I think I might get it tomorrow. I ain't get it back yet. So that's one of the reasons why I was running around town all day this morning, and I had some other stuff to do as well. And I barely got here to make sure I can bring you up to date with this program. So that is what it is. I appeared this morning. It's a summary charge, and I pleaded not guilty, and I'm to return on the 5th for discovery. God, the magistrate asked, because when the prosecutor said by the 5th, magistrate asked if that is sufficient time, and the prosecutor said yes. Magistrate said yes. So I'm very confidently. So it will appear that I get all the statements to give to me during the discovery process next week, Wednesday. So that is a good thing. Another good thing is that it would appear that the matter has not been transferred to another magistrate. When you transfer, it's a lot of waste of time. It will appear that the same magistrate that they appeared before will conduct. That is how it appeared. And I'm just telling you so I can educate you as to what transpired. Educate you as to what transpired. Mr. Conway was in court this morning, and let me bring him in for him to have his seat. CC, you are there this morning. I don't know if you want to add anything I have said. Go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, I was there. And let me backtrack a bit, dealing with bail. Now, you served 37 years in the Guyana Police Force. I pipped you by 2 years. You got 2 national awards. The police investigating the matter. They want to charge you, or they said to charge you in court. And they say, pass away, sign this recognizance to go to court next week, Wednesday. And you would have torn up. You had matters before, and you never absent yourself from any one of it. And then when I got to go back to Darmlal, when they had the allegation at Darmlal, where they say you raped the girl, where they say you buggered her, where they say you break on her back, and he say he break 2 pots spoon of sperms. They put him on $1 million bail, not a cent lodge, not a cent lodge. And here's it, you, a retired assistant commissioner of police, and they put you on $200,000 bail. And now you're going to before the magistrate, and the magistrate said $50,000. And I was in court when I heard a female name mentioned 3 times. 3 times they mentioned her name. And even when the magistrate was reading the charge, she used the initials. She didn't say they spell out the name, but 3 times they called in court, and then the orderly went outside and called the name 3 times, and then said no answer, no appearance. And then there's what's going on there. Dharam Lal, $1 million bail, no money lodge, and part slow, for a little stupid matter, $200,000 bail. And when he going from the court said $50,000 bail. We're really getting on in the place, man.
It's part of the victimization. It is clear that is part of the victimization. They want to victimize falsehood. But let me read this again. I hope y'all, there's a noise in the background. I hope y'all not affected by it. Right? I'm trying to get the people to calm down on the noise that they're making. Let me quote again UC Anderson. Right? Let it be known to all and sundry. I fear not yesterday, not tomorrow, not today, and not ever any creature known to man, irrespective of the office they hold. I am not possessed by a spirit of fear. Let me understand this thing clearly. I am not fearful. They can do whatever they want to do. I am prepared. I am saying it here now that when I turn up for these things, I am prepared to spend me 72 hours or wherever they want to put me in the lockup. At some stage, you might want to do that. I am not afraid. Let me understand this thing clearly. So the thing about bail, even if they decide for concup and to remand me, I am not afraid. I am not afraid. As Mr. Conway said, Dharamlal, accused of rape and buggery. And what did the DPP and CID, the same Bladam they do? Then find no, they can't charge him because the complainant, a 16-year-old, said that it was in our interest not to have the matter proceeded with in court. A 16-year-old can make that decision, and the DPP accepts that. When you had the second allegation against him, the rape allegation, what happened? The matter did not even reach the DPP in accordance with the law. The matter did not reach the DPP. The police advisor, Mandel Moore, said that you don't get enough evidence. And the law specifically states that if the police does not file the charge within 3 months of the complaint, the matter must go. The matter must go to the DPP for the DPP to pronounce on it. And this one with Dharamlal, the second rape allegation against Dharamlal, not even get to the DPP. Did not even get to the DPP. So let me tell Wendell Blanham, Deputy Commissioner, all of them, they cannot scare me. I tell you all already, the only thing I fear is God. And all the plans that they're planning to belittle and to embarrass me, I cannot be embarrassed in this matter, in these series of matters. I will not and I cannot allow myself. I will not be embarrassed. That is why I will come here and let people know exactly what has taken place. I will come and tell y'all what's going on. Y'all planning for me? But you know what they say? Man appoints, but God disappoints. And there are a lot of others saying, Moon run till they catch him. Hold on, all y'all they coming. All y'all they. The most powerful man, or the person who thought he was the most powerful in the police force, Calvin Brutus. 261 criminal charges. He lived in police quarters. He was constructively evicted. They cut off the water, cut off the light. More of your days coming. The days coming for more of you. So sit back there today to get officers conference. And for those officers who thieving a thing and listening to this live, enjoy your conference, man. All the best for those of you who get promotion, deserve your promotion. We can talk about it yourself. Enjoy and congratulations. I don't know you're going to sneak and go in the washroom and so on and say you're listening. Or you're going to listen tonight on YouTube. I fear no man. I said before, I ain't frightened the president. I don't fear the bombastic vice president. I ain't fear the lying Mark Phillips. I ain't fear the extended squatter, the wedding planner, the commissioner. I ain't fear Blanham, who himself has been accused of stuff, right? I ain't fear none of them. I ain't fear Robeson, Dottie Ben. I don't fear the DPP. I ain't fear none of them. I fear God. I fear God. And God is in charge, and I know that all will be well. And I know that the truth shall set me free. Again, to close this aspect of the thing, can you imagine this morning, I am charged with anonymity of complainant. In other words, they say reveal the complainant name, which I did not do. I did not reveal the complainant's name, right? I can't go into details now. But then the orderly called out the complainant's name in court this morning 3 times. And the other guy went outside and called 3 times and said no answer, no appearance. So it is entered into the record that the complainant did not turn up. I don't know that the complainant needed to turn up. I don't know that. And then the magistrate observed that after my lawyer pointed it out. The magistrate observed, magistrate said, well, I will not call the complainant's name. I am going to use the initial, which is the correct thing. I am going to use the initial. So let us try. Let us try. They are stealing, they are making me stronger. And those of you who know me know I've always been a strong person, not only physically strong, but mentally strong. And them can't break me. They have been trying, they can't break me. And let me give you all a little rundown for you to understand my troubles with this wicked, stinking, dirty PPP people. Let's start now. Started way back in 2003, if you remember that, right? When they attempted to remove me from the police force because I declined to carry out an unlawful order from Jagdeo and Gadraj. Gadraj first, and then Jagdeo called me and call me to his office, Jagdeo, the same person you're going to hit tomorrow afternoon, cussing out the news. So call me to his office, Chu McDonald, who was the commissioner, the weakest commissioner the force has ever seen. Called me, and I went there to his office, the office of the president, Chief Shanapal Drive, and he tried to convince me that I should apologize to Gadraj. I asked him for what? And they can't tell me up to now what I should apologize for. And then he called me, that was a Wednesday, I think it was. And then the Monday following that, he called me directly. I was in the office in New Amsterdam, and the phone on my desk rang, and I picked it up. And the person said I wanted to speak to Commander Slow. He said, speaking, was the president himself. There's no secretary call and put through the call, you know. Jagdeo called me himself and told me that if he did not get the apology from me by that afternoon, he is going to quote in I will side with the minister and you will suffer the consequences. End of quote. I have all them things written down, you know, I got it documented. And what happened? I remained an assistant commissioner for 11 years. But I was not going to bow to no pressure from Jagdeo and Gadraj. They were trying to apply. We moved to the court. I moved to the court because, with my lawyer, Rex McKay, because we felt it was an attempt to move me from office without cause. To remove me from office without cause. They were putting me as head of the Financial Intelligence Unit. That same unit, they were to say, report Brutus suspicious transaction. I was the first person to go ahead. I said, I ain't going there. I joined the police force. I ain't going there. And the matter went to court. And then eventually, they put in no defense. They were unable to justify their attempt to remove me from the force. They make McDonald Ball. Oh God, they get meeting, and now we're calling them, none of them and answering. And the matter was thrown out eventually. And let me tell you another aspect of that. This is teaching too. Because when they moved to court, I retired on the 1st of August 2010. And shortly after, I left to, I'm mixing up the incidents there. Let me go to the next one, right? I retired in August 2010. And during the course of my farewell, I had a big parade and speech. I made an observation. I said, one of the few things that I'm disappointed in is that a police officer who got a scholarship to go and study, right, was being victimized and dismissed. I was referring to Simon McBean. He won a scholarship, the Chevening Award, to go to the UK to do a master's degree. Can't remember the exact the designation of the degree, but he went and did a degree. And when he returned, he worked for 1 year in the police force. And then they dismissed him retroactively. Retroactively was dismissed. And I said I was disappointed that a man who went to study was disappointed. And at the same time, I didn't say that the other man who ran from me as a senior superintendent during the troubled times where he was alleged to be involved in extrajudicial killings, went to Canada, sought asylum in Canada. He was refused asylum and deported back to Guyana. He came back to Guyana and he was promoted assistant commissioner. And this is a young officer who went to study as a superintendent, won a scholarship to study, and then they dismissed him. Right? So I said I was disappointed. Charles Ramson Sr., who was the Attorney General at the time, sued me because what happened is that having me dismissed, challenged it in the court. Challenged his dismissal, quite rightly so. He challenged it. And Charles Ramson said that the fact that the matter was in the court of judiciary, I should not have made any comment at all about the matter. So when I said that I was disappointed that this man was dismissed, his story is that I should not have said so. So the matter went to the court, and eventually that was dismissed too. But here what happened? I was out of the country when they came to serve the document on me. I was in the US. They left it with my sister, who lived at the same address with me. She called me and she told me what had transpired. And I instructed her to take all the documents to Mr. Rex McKay. And she did that. Now, Mr. Rex McKay successfully argued in court that that was not proper service. Police, y'all understand what's going on. Y'all learn this thing. In a civil matter, That is not proper service. You have to give it to the person directly. So all this thing, what I say, the emailing thing and the what FedExing thing to mail email, let me see how they're going to go in the US. The court held that was not proper service, leaving this thing at my home with my system. And then they were given the opportunity to serve it properly. And I ain't running and I hiding. So I came back in the country sometime after that. And of course, because I was told that the Attorney General was enraged over the fact that he did not know that I was out of the country. And he told Henry Green, that is what was alleged. He told Henry Green, who was then the Commissioner of Police and the Chief Immigration Officer, that they must report all my movement in and out of the country. So when I came back, they knew I was in, and then they sent the marshals at my residence to serve it on me. I sat on my veranda when I saw the people coming, and they could see the little nervous. Me, I know what to tell them, but they were nervous. So I called them and say, "You looking for me?" They say, "Yes, sir." I said, "I'm coming down." And I went down, and I collected the document from them. And if you could see that they were relieved. They were relieved. And again, now we went going to court and dismissed. The matter dismissed. Right? Now let me tell you all this too, that you all and perhaps know. I got matters in the appeal court. Yeah, Jack, don't you think it's too trying to try with me? But they can't break me. They can't break me. Here what happened? You're gonna believe this. After I was charged and appeared in court in October 2021, right? I held the view that being as wicked as they are, they're going to try to prevent me from leaving the country. So I advised my lawyer, Mr. Nigel Hughes, that we should go to the court, file an application for permission to leave the jurisdiction. And we did so. We filed an application for permission to leave. Anil Nandalal, the Attorney General, SC, MP, went in person, but no, I shouldn't say in person. He appeared virtually. So he's not one of the lawyers from the AG chambers. Anil Nandalal appeared to fight against me leaving the country. He appeared in person. He didn't want me to leave the country. It went so far. Listen to this, folks. I get all the records. So when Anil Nandalal and Lanem come, I have all the records. He was so obsessed with Paul Slow because I had a room that I rented in his brain. I had a room. That a document had to be signed. I think it was an application. Affidavit had to be signed by the policewoman who was the investigator in the matter, McBean. You know, Anil Nandalal signed. Because folks, you can't make these things up. Anil Nandalal signed an affidavit. And the Chief Justice says, how can you be signing the affidavit? He mumbled something, He looked embarrassed, but them that can't be embarrassed. Anil Nandalal signed the affidavit. The Chief Justice had to tell him, that you can't sign. That's something, but he's a police representative. He said, yeah, you're the representative, but you can't be the person who is signing the affidavit. And he back off. Now, that matter, I was given permission to travel. Right? Conditional permission to travel and to return. I complied with the condition. I traveled and I returned. Anil Nandalal appealed that matter. That was since 2021. I was sometime last year. I got a notification that the matter is still in the appeal court. The permission granted to me by the Chief Justice to leave the jurisdiction, which I've done on several occasions. Anil Nandalal appealed that. It is still pending in the appeal court of Guyana. You folks, I know you all know that we're credible and we don't make these things up, right? We don't make these things up. That matter is still pending, so I get one. Let me tell you about another matter that is pending. That is, Brutus sued me. That same Calvin Brutus, CB 261, where they eventually dismissed. He sued me in 2021 or 2022. I can't remember exactly. It might have been 2022. Defamation of character. He said, defamed his character. He sued me. Now, the matter was dismissed in the technicality. The matter was dismissed because they didn't comply with some instruction by the court, and the matter was dismissed. The matter was dismissed in the High Court. He has appealed, the appeal pending in the appeal court too. That was pending in the appeal court. Then I got the Karimba sue me, and the judge, I believe it was a strange ruling. It has been challenged. That too, in the appeal court. That too is in the appeal court. On the last time we were in the appeal court, he got judgment, $10 million judgment from me. $10 million. When the matter came up, of course, we appealed and we asked for a stay in the judgment. The appeal was ordered in the appeal court, and the court stayed 60% of the judgment. So in other words, $6 million was stayed, and I was asked to pay $4 million pending the outcome of the appeal. Pending the outcome. And I paid the money. I paid the money. There was a mistake made with the name and all that. And last week when I came in the country, I went and I corrected it and I took it, the manager's check to give them. I paid. That is still pending. The matter is still before the court, pending. So the story with that is that when the full appeal court hears the matter, and based on the decision, then they're going to determine whether I got to get back my money or whether whatever quantum is then, that too is there before the court. I sue them. I sued Chronicle and the police, Attorney General. That matter was tried, I think it was sometime in January, right? Tried. The Attorney General chambers never entered the defense in the matter. And then they turned up in court. Well, the judge wasn't having it. The judge told us that what we have to do is to make an application for a default judgment. And once we provide, because they said they weren't served, once we provide proof of service along with the application for default, then the judge will decide what quantum of damages to be awarded. So all that going on, I sued them again. This matter hasn't come up yet. Remember the 15th of October 2021 when Ramana and all them hold me in the court? No, I wasn't allowing that. I let them believe it done. And just before the end of the 3-year period, I sued them. The matter is in the court as well. That matter is in the court as well. So it's all them matters. Now you get the 3 sexual assault cases. And then the one that I answered to today, anonymity of complainant. So it's all them thing. All. They're trying and they're trying and they're trying, but they're going to fail on every occasion. They are going to fail. They're trying to shut me up. They're not going to be able to do that. They even went so far back in 2022, right? I got word that they were talking to people on the world to shut up Paul Slow. And when I mentioned it on the interview I had with Travis Chase, Nandalal is on record as saying, and it's not alleged, I heard it myself, I read it, that Paul Slow seeking attention. That was his response to that. I ain't got to seek attention. I don't have to seek attention. Then more recently, sometime last year it was, I got word that they sat in a bar on the East Coast. And they said they got to make Paul Slow the next Crummy Wing. Crummy Wing is a man that they killed at Diamond, I think it was 2015. They shot and killed him there. So, in other words, they're planning to kill me. Are you afraid of that? I tell you all, they got 2 types of fear. They got a fear of the paralyzing fear, like the deer caught in the headlight. Frozen, paralyzed. And what happens? Struck and killed. Paralyzing fear. And then they get the fear of a trained person who knows that there are dangers and able to try to protect himself. I am not afraid. At least I know talk. So if they come and pick me up now with cybercrime and say that I'm going to spend 72 hours in the lockup, I will go there gladly, take the mosquito bite, take the cockroach, and take the rat and everything. I know my family don't like hear when I see that, but I'm being honest. I'm not afraid of them. I am not afraid. Right? I'm not afraid. If I go to court anytime and I say remand the prisoner, I ain't frightened. I'm almost 70. I've had a good life. And if the Lord decides that this is the time for me to go home, I will say, thank you, Lord, for allowing me this time on the face of the earth. So I got to give you all a rundown, man. I got to tell you, so you know that this is not an isolated incident. And before I begin, I can't wait to tell you, all of this started because I was the chairman of the Police Service Commission and the president wanted people to be promoted. And I tell you, as I said, it don't work so. There are procedures, there are protocols. And I, and other members of the Service Commission, we are not going to violate the procedures. We are not going to violate the protocols. And that is a good time for me to bring in Mr. Conway, and then we're going to talk about the promotion which was released today. But before I do that, CC, bear with me. The last day was here on Monday, sorry. I had on a wine color shirt, a wine color, burgundy wine color shirt. And they all went to work, these students, all like a crossover. They say it's red. It wasn't red. But I understand that the camera make it show as if it's red. It was a burgundy shirt. So today, as I said, the crossover with my red shirt, today I wearing my green shirt. So I walk back over. Because when I've been over there, what I saw, corruption, incompetence, nepotism, all these type of criminals and so on over there. I said, that is not the place for me to be. So I come back and I'm wearing my green shirt today. So I'm going to hear what y'all got to say. I'm going to hear what you people have to say now. Because Monday, oh God, y'all went to work, you students, man. Oh, I got on a red shirt like a gone over. And all sort of thing. Not me. Not me. Yes, Evelyn, it was a beautiful shirt, but I recognize about the color. They said the thing was red, but it was not. Wine, burgundy, or maroon, something like that. But I understand the camera make a show that it looked like it was red. Barlet, welcome, welcome. CC, what are your views on all that I've just said, my brother?
Well, I know that you're fighting, and I know they can't get you. I know they're going to try all sort of things. And I know the shot wasn't red, but sometimes the cameras. And I know also that you're not a 007, You're not going to cross over. You're not a 007. You're not going to cross over. But let's move on with the promotion and the other issues.
Yeah, man. Yeah, let's talk now about the promotion. We have been saying here on this program for the longest while that people that need to make, and we were saying this since the Service Commission was constitutional. In other words, we said that the Police Service Commission, according to the Constitution, says should have 5 members. There's a recent ruling from the Chief Justice, should have 5 members. They had 5. Because when it had 4, and they made decisions, and it came before the court, the Chief Justice confirmed that there should be 5. But what the Chief Justice did, said that all the orders and all the functions and all the action was going to be saved. I think it's the de facto doctrine will save. But from that day when the order was made by the Chief Justice, the Police Service Commission could not continue to function as a Police Service Commission. Could not. That was an order. And they had violated it because the chairman and the secretary, they go alongside the meeting police and so on. And I think one of the lawyers had to write and threaten, and then they back off. Then eventually the 5th member, who was the chairman of the Public Service Commission, Maniram Prashad, was appointed. And therefore, the Police Service Commission then became fully operational. In November last year, one of the members, Mark Conway, died. So it got back to the stage where the commission now is 4 instead of 5. And based on the Constitution, based on the ruling, it is not lawfully constituted according to the Constitution. You have to get the 5th person. And as Mr. Conway and I explained some time ago, you can't talk about a quorum when the body is not lawfully constituted. You have to constitute the body lawfully first, and then you can decide if it's 5, maybe 3 is a quorum or whatever the quorum is. But in this case, there are only 4 members. We made the point when they put together that tribal union to deal in the Brutus case that any action taken by the Police Service Commission is unlawful, it's unconstitutional. Any action taken by them as they currently are. Right? 4 members? No. So we were saying that the president should make sure that the commission is properly constituted and promote the policemen who are there for years and years and years can't get promotion, because the last time they made a promotion was in July of 2022. The only promotion this commission made, and now their life almost an end, I guess they're gonna return, was in 2022, that unlawful promotion. The Chief Justice said it was unlawful, but she saved it using the de facto doctrine. Because if the commission was unlawful, therefore whatever action they took was unlawful. Now they gone back and do the same thing again. They gone back and said they're making promotion now. And well, they made a lot of promotions today. They made a lot of promotions. I think 200 and something promotion. I see I getting a note here trying to see where they hold on one moment. Oh, yeah. So the thing is that the Police Service Commission is not lawfully constituted. But they went ahead because I guess Nosef from Carmichael Street would have told them to go ahead, let them challenge it if they want. Right? That is the way these people, the government operated. Violating the Constitution and then tell you if you want to challenge it. That's how they operate. That is what they know full well. Right? They know. Because some of them stupid, but some of them get book sense without common sense, which is nonsense. Like one of them get little sense, they know. But they approach that when we do these things, y'all go ahead and challenge it if you want. Because at the end of the day, based on the previous ruling by the Chief Justice, whatever ruling is made is not going to be made to affect third parties. So the ranks who have been promoted, I guess, will still benefit from the promotions. So that is what they did this morning. Hurriedly, since yesterday, words started to circulate because people were advised to go to the quartermaster store to collect badge of rank or badges of rank. So they went, even though there was no official promotion list. Because they said the squatter tell them the thing will come out tonight or something. Well, I understand the list came out this morning. And as was to be expected, riddled with problems, I have not been able to go through it in any great detail as yet. Because as I said, I had a very busy morning. But I have made some observations already, which I'll point out to you. Having had Mr. Conway's comment on this to this point, I'm going to point out some of the things that I have observed. But CC, let me talk to them about the lawfulness of the Constitution, the Service Commission, and the actions that they have taken. Go ahead.
Well, we said before, and it's worth repeating, that according to the Constitution, the Police Service Commission shall consist of 5 members, and shall in the legal term is a command. Shall 4 persons nominated by president by persons who appear to have the interests of the members of the force, and whosoever is the chairman of the Public Service Commission. 4 sent to Parliament. The Select Committee will meet, send the name to the president, and the president will appoint a chairman out of those 4. So they must have 5 members of the Police Service Commission. We had the issue when they had 4, and it went to the court. The Honorable Chief Justice ruled that in its present state they have 4 members. It cannot perform any function of the commission unless there is a 5th member. So you got to get 5. They get 4 now. My cousin Mark Conway died. He has not been replaced. All they gotta do, make back nomination to the ministry, to the Parliament, National Assembly, send the name to the president, and hear this. And the president in this case will have to get meaningful consultation with the leader of the opposition. And not guilty share writing Abby Norton write you back, and then they say, and then she gonna write back and say, there's a person. That is not meaningful consultation. So as far as I am concerned, is that the promotion that they announced, I think this morning or last night, is unconstitutional. It is illegal. It is of no legal effect. It is null and void. And let me make it clear, I'm happy when ranks are promoted. ranks who deserve promotion. That's some of the list who I see going to talk maybe later on, but that's some of the list what you see there. When ranks who are deserving promotion are promoted. And when we go back, sometimes it's good to backtrack. I remember in 2022, the chairman who says he's a bishop, I know Bishop 4, said on the 1st of July that he waiting the list of ranks to be recommended for promotion from the commissioner of police, and on the second 250 something people get promoted. How could that be? What kind of due diligence did they had? And then this now, I think a couple days ago, Minister Ben in his press briefing was asked by Travis Chase about promotion, and he said that they're reviewing, that the police and the service commission reviewing. Perhaps the review must be done in labor time, and they promote it. So it is illegal. And what they do, they're promoting a lot of incompetence. Promoting incompetence. They're waking up, they're resurrecting Dr. Peter. Maybe because we get a bishop, he like Jesus Christ, he could resurrect people. He resurrected Dr. Peter and promoted a whole lot of incompetence. Maybe in another program we're going to think, because I haven't gone into details with it. So, and they can't say this time about the de facto principle, or they can't talk about the doctrine of necessity. Not again. But they do what they want to do. And for me, it is illegal. It is unconstitutional. Null. It is null and void. And it should never have happened. But then, this is Guyana. This is Guyana. And anything will happen. And I'm sorry for the police force there. And I'm sorry for the country as a whole. Because a lot of incompetent people gone up the line. And they got to make a lot of decisions. And this is where the incompetence is going to come in play. Later on, maybe in another program, we will talk more about the promotion.
Yeah, we can definitely, because it came out this morning, and I have not had the opportunity to really examine it in great detail. But the comments that were made by Ropesman that Mr. Conway just referred to. Let me listen to it. Listen to what he says.
What is preventing the holdup of the publication of the police promotion list? And two, I noticed the crime chief is here. Is there anything new the crime chief can tell us regarding the recent kidnappings or the investigation thereof into the recent kidnappings?
The promotion list, of course, is still under review and will be released at the appropriate time. The question of the kidnapping, I believe there were 2 charges recently done in relation to the question of that incident.
What do you mean review? The police promotion list, what kind of review?
The police promotion list is a list that is prepared and has to be reviewed both at the levels of the commanders at the districts and at the Police Service Commission. So that is simply what it is. And it has to match in terms of the numbers who could be placed at various positions with the succession planning of the police force and what is available in terms of positions.
Craziness by this from this Minister of Home Affairs. Review by whom? There's no review to take place with the police promotion list. The Service Commission is the constitutional body to make the promotion. So once the Service Commission, remember, I was the chairman of the Police Service Commission, and Mr. Connie was a member. We would ask them to make recommendations to the commission. Once they make the recommendations, we look at it, nobody is reviewing, but I can tell you this review that Ropesman talking about there, that is what took place prior to us going there. And since that is what is going on, you can recall, many of you would, that during the course of last year, might have been May, June, There was a leaked promotion list, a long list. And Ikin, the commissioner, made a statement to say that, a written statement to say that that list was created by a group of officers, normally known as the Senior Promotion Board. And they came up with that recommendation. I did my own research and discovered that one of the officers who was mentioned as being at that meeting at the commissioner's office was out of the country at that time. So it was an old lying thing that he can, which is not unusual for him. There's no review. The police, they make the recommendations, and the police commission, service commission sits, and they do what they have to do, check, they do the due diligence, and they make the release. Once the police service commission say you're promoted, nobody can review. But that took place before we got there. And after, what used to happen, the police service commission would sit. That's before our commission. They come up with a list. The list had to go to the next commission in Rab Street. It had to go to the next commission in Brickdam. And they would cut out and put in. Maybe that is a review that Robesman talking about. Because several persons I know, and I can say this, including Akin, when he was promoted to assistant commissioner, he was not recommended. And when he went to one of those other commissions, they put in name. Like the records are there. I've been in the commission for 3 years. I saw the records, not recommended. And then in a case I had before the High Court, they went and they argued that once the police admin makes a recommendation, the police service commission is compelled to carry it out. They argue that. That's what they argue. In front of the same matter too with Brutus in the High Court, we challenged the promotion. They went and they argued that when the police force sends a recommendation list, even though they say it's a recommendation, that done bad, it's a recommendation, but yet they're saying that the police service commission was obliged or compelled to go with what they say. Never happened. I can tell you, never ever happened. Never. Where the list or the recommendation sent by the police administration to the commission, all those persons are promoted. Never happen. Never. And in our case, we found that we had to do even more work because we couldn't trust the police administration. What they do, they would then send the list, will make recommendations, and they will say, they then recommend a person. They will say, perhaps, that the person has not passed the appropriate qualifying examination. I remember, a matter of fact, yesterday I was going through some papers and I saw a document from one of the ranks at the time because they said the rank had not passed. And when I asked the rank, well, I said they passed, I will send the result. The rank sent the result, I have it here. I have a copy of it here. The ranks had indeed passed the examination. So we had to go through the thing very, very minutely with fine-teeth comb to make sure. In the same 2020 promotion that Brutus challenged, Brutus wrote on behalf of the administration, because he was in the admin position, and recommended that several ranks should not be promoted because they had pending disciplinary matters. Brutus had a pending disciplinary matter, and his name was the top first name on the list. And we said, no, that can't work. So they have been known to do that. They will call, they will say who they want promoted, and even when the service commission met and create a list, this review that Robesman talking about, when it goes to them, then they take out. So when the list is published, people who are promoted, because the police service commission don't recommend, the police service commission promotes. That's the constitution says that. But they just go and they just chop and they just change. So that is the review that Robesman talking about. That is the review. So that start to happen again, where when the police service commission meet and they put together a list, before the list can be published and made official, them man got to go through. That is why, and I want to come and debunk this. That is why that leaked list in 2024 never got released. Never. Because it did not find favor in certain places. Some of the people did not find favor in certain places. That is what is going on. And all this thing is demoralizing the force. This promotion released less than about 12 hours ago. And the amount of complaints you're hearing on social media and so on, we can deal with some of them. I mean, let me be honest. Let me be frank. Every promotion list will find some people who are dissatisfied. Every promotion list. Because I noted some people are talking, oh, they get 20 years, they get 50 years. Years of service is not necessarily the only thing to be considered for promotion. Some people might have years of service, they are dishonest, they are corrupt, they know the work, so you can't promote them, or you should not promote them. Because now that is not a bar for promotion. People incompetent, people get criminal behavior against them, and all sort of things, but they're still getting promoted. And the sad part is that you have a lot of ranks who are towing the line, who are competent, and because maybe they're not liked, so they are not promoted. And all you have is the force being further demoralized. That is why you're going to have the code being the force being further demoralized. So in terms of today's promotion, I noted, and I can read something to you. Because some people, well, I don't know if you can really call them people. Some of those things, I can read something from the one from Germany, from the Volkswagen factory. You know, we're talking who's weak down the leg side. He's a German, right? And for those younger ones who know, when we talk about Volkswagen, ask the older folks, they're going to tell you what it's a brand of car. But this is a car, hold on, let me find the thing. This is a car that had a unique feature back in the day, in that the engine was at the back. So when we older folks talk about a Volkswagen, we talk about a car with the engine in the rear, right? Now, they decided this morning, after the promotion came out, to single out one person to attack. This is the Volkswagen. And here, what has been said, I can read it, it's in all along. Police Inspector Lingard Walcott was on Wednesday, the 26th of February 2025, promoted to the rank of Assistant Superintendent of Police. Walcott is the police officer who changed his initial statement given to the Special Organized Crime Unit, which was investigating alleged financial irregularities against now dismissed Assistant Commissioner of Police Calvin Reuters. Walcott is also the officer who, in his statement to SOCU, denied having knowledge of a particular supplier to the Guyana Police Force who delivered millions in goods to the organization. He claimed to have received no deliveries and have no knowledge of the company. However, evidence later, that's why they say no. I'm reading what you say, evidence later. However, evidence later surfaced that Walcott is familiar with the company, knew of the deliveries to the Guyana Police Force quartermaster stores, and most importantly, his signature appeared on dozens of delivery slips, confirming that the force did receive items from the company. Walcott heads the police quartermaster stores and is among the list of 141 senior officers promoted by the Police Service Commission. That list was published today by the Guyana Police Force. That is what they say. Let me, before I bring in Mr. Conway, this thing singled out Walcott. But let me draw attention to some others who were promoted. Mahendra Singh is promoted, the traffic chief is promoted to assistant commissioner. He had allegation of rape, sexual assault leveled against him. Let me repeat that. The man who promoted to assistant commissioner had allegation. I was at the Police Service Commission. I saw the report. Right? I saw the report. James was the commissioner at the time. Allegation of a rape where it is alleged, or it was alleged, that he lured a journalist, no, I'll call your name now, think you're still around. He lured a journalist into his office at CID headquarters. At the time, he was the head of the narcotics branch. He lured this journalist there because she was doing some report and wanted some information, statistics, that she come to the office. When she went to the office, it is alleged that he either raped or attempted to rape her in his office. Nothing enough. My SADA report, that file went to the DPP, and the DPP did she magic. Nothing enough against me. After that, a policewoman alleged that she was sexually assaulted by the same man, and he got promoted. But this thing ain't going to talk about that. The thing is not going to talk about that. Krishnadat Ramana, you remember him? Krishnadat Ramana came to the Georgetown Magistrate Court on the 15th of October 2021 with other ranks from Suku. Manhandled me to say that I was an arrest for the same charge that I turned up to. And then he said he wanted to read the caution after charge. Caution after charge to me, which is not the normal thing. The same Christianette Ramana arrested lawyer Tamika Clark, who's now demonstrated at study, because she advised her client to not to give a statement or not to sign a statement. A civil action was brought against the state, and the Chief Justice found that awarded damages in favor of Tamika Clark. In other words, Ramana was wrong. The court so ruled. Ramana is promoted to senior superintendent. He ain't gonna talk about that. He ain't talking about that. Mitchell Caesar, allegation made that he collect money for cover up a murder. Mitchell Caesar was pulled in by the U.S. authorities in the U.S. and questioned at length. He is promoted to senior superintendent. He ain't gonna talk about that. He ain't gonna talk about that. And you have many others who have investigation, who have a lot of a past, question past. They got promoted. But this thing single out Walcott. And here I'm not representing Walcott. And let me go further. The finance officer, Bharat Prasad, I think he's one of them on the list. He's a man who signed check to Brutus, paying Brutus or company that Brutus has interest in from the Police Central Welfare Fund. Total, then all his misconduct. And he ain't get charged. The woman of the police consumers who encashed this $60 million check took it to the office of the commissioner and handed it over to Brutus in the presence of the commissioner. The same $60 million result in Brutus getting charged for larceny by a public officer. Money handed over to him by the Portia Shetty was inspected, which is an officer, and nothing happened. But he's singling out Walcott. Akin, the wedding planner, said that he collected $8.5 million from Amir Ahmad to finance Bhutto's wedding. He got promoted to commissioner, and then talking about that. We're singling out one man. I got many others. When I go through the list properly, I'm going to talk. When I go through this list, this promotion list that came out today, and I'm not doing this to run down anybody, and well, not to run down to say that I'm dissatisfied with some of the ranks who get promotion. No, some of the ranks, despite the fact that this commission is unlawful and illegal, I am saying that many of the ranks are deserving of their promotions. Many of them, they work hard, they're honest, they're hardworking, they're competent. But the first thing that should have happened is that the president should have ensured that the police service commission is lawful. I don't let you got to question the promotions of these people, the lawfulness of the promotion of these deserving ranks. But this gentleman come out and you're attacking Walcott. And let me say this. I know Walcott, never worked with me or anything, but I observe him on Swan, and people will tell you that Walcott is a decent, hardworking he was an inspector, hardworking police inspector. They removed him from the quartermaster store when this thing started. They had him somewhere in the East Coast. I remember we went going at a location in the East Coast, and I saw him. They said, "What are you doing?" They said, "He transferred to the East Coast." Right? Because of his competence, I would think, he's taken back to the quartermaster stores. He's taken back to the quartermaster stores. So what they're talking about? What are they? You have a finance officer who sits there and draw a check from the Police Central Welfare Fund for pay for government items, and he get promoted. So why single out Walcott? Why single out Walcott? Let me bring you Mr. Conway. Since you're sure you want to have say something on this. Go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, and let me repeat again. Right? Let me repeat again that I have no issue with persons who deserve promotion being promoted. They must get promoted. But my issue is persons who are incompetent, persons who are corrupt, persons, as we say, who ain't ready yet, being promoted to senior position. It's widespread. They're the man that is sent to United States of America to aid in the process of serving something on work. And the other day, the Attorney General at the opening of the Marlborough Magistrates Court say, hey, that this thing is territorial. We can get power in any country's territorial, these offenses. And that man there has been promoted. And he had a right. You know it was illegal. And if it's illegal, you're not bound to accept it. You're not bound to carry out the order. There are so many, what we'll call so many supersessions in this promotion list. I haven't gone in depth, but I won't go in depth. But for the time being, so many things has gone wrong with the promotion. First thing, this service commission is unconstitutional, it's illegal. And then the people them that they promoted, when you look at the list, perhaps they promote them who the list that went from a house, that came from a house in Rob Street. And as you mentioned, Paul, the service commission is a constitutional body. It is an independent body. It must act that way. We acted as an independent body. Nobody couldn't approach me. Even sometimes when they recommend, they say, this man is not being recommended at this time, he's right back and say, justify though. He's not being recommended, he's not being considered for promotion, justify that. We used to check every file. Vesta Adams and Claire Jarvis, every file we used to check in detail. So they won't bluff us. And the big thing is that we knew the men them, that we knew the women them, that we knew the officers, the supposed to be promoted. But here now, you get a civilian, ain't know none of them police. Pure persons with no law enforcement experience on that commission don't know the members. They know them on paper. They know them when they get a list from Rob Street. They know them when I get a list from Carmichael Street. The whole thing is wrong. Corruption, left, right, and center. Incompetence, left, right, and center. But I'll go into more details in another episode where I'll be more specific. But generally, that is my thing in terms of the promotion that I had this morning or last night.
Yes, thank you, my brother. And yeah, share the live. Share the live. Let people know that we're on. I know we just catch you in the afternoon because you're not accustomed to having classes in the afternoon. But share the live and let them know that you're on. We're talking now about the promotion the promotions that were released by the Police Service Commission. And remember, not only Police Service Commission, but also the commissioner, because junior promotions were made. And as we have said to you before, the Police Service Commission is responsible for promoting from inspector to assistant commissioner. And the commissioner of police is responsible for promoting from lance corporal to sergeant, right? So all of those ranks were promoted today. But the next observation, as I said, we haven't been able to drill down into this thing. Big problem with this list, because everybody that got promoted today, every single 241 Roman of them got the same promotion date, the 1st of January 2025. The 1st, so that they're following up for the president. The president promoted the commissioner and the 5 deputy commissioners, all effective from the 19th of December 2024. So now this lazy, incompetent secretary and police service commission, you're going to promote people now. All of them get the same date. So all the assistant commissioners, I think 8 of them, everybody now get date the 1st of January 2025. So a lot of people would have lost seniority. A lot of people it's madness from the little that I've seen so far. But I'm going to go into it in great detail. I'm going to come the next day and I'm going to explain to you. I have seen people who master man up on pre-retirement leave and is now promoted. Nothing is wrong. Well, it's not unique. It has happened before. But the thing to note that in order for you to be pensionable in the rank, you have to spend a certain number of years. So all of these people that promote now who retire this year or retire next year and all this type of thing, they got to look to see what happens to the benefits. I mean, it's nice to say you retire as an assistant commissioner or you retire as a senior superintendent and all of that. but that might not redound to your benefit in terms of your superannuation benefit. Because if I had rank, I think you have to be in 3 years in the rank before you become pensionable. So if a person is promoted now, and remember, based on what they're doing, there's no retroactivity. So all the promotion is from 1st of January 2025. So y'all will laugh now. Whatever you look at it, is your salary that you're getting at the last 3 years, that's what you're getting. Somebody said 2 years in the rank. You got to be before you become pensionable in that rank. And a lot of people some of them don't even get 2 months. So we will see how that will work. And let me tell you next thing about the dishonesty what we have to look at in the Police Service Commission. Qualifying examination, right? We discovered that what they did, they would rush and they said the police standing order 22 states that you should have appropriate qualifying examination. It further states the times when the examination should be held during the course of the year, right? And what happened when we were there? We discovered that they held the examination and they did not release the results. When we started to question them about the results, you know what they did? They marked the paper selectively. So the people who they preferred and wanted promoted, they also they send them results. And people who did not find favor with them, they didn't even mark them even though the paper passed. I remember one particular policewoman, right? Decent woman. So I called her, I said, girl, why you have not taken the police examination? She said, sorry, I took the examination. So I said, well, what about your result? You ain't pass? She said she ain't get the result yet. When we dig further, only to discover that they mark some and they mark some, including ours. And we have to stand up and who you think was a training then? The person in charge of training, they get the record was Ikin. Same man who know with the commissioner. And they can go to court if they want. I have the documentation and all of that. Then promote this person because they didn't recommend her for promotion because they said she did not pass the appropriate qualification examination. We on the commission reached out to several persons and discovered that wasn't so. Some had passed, and we said, bring your pass slip. They brought the pass slip. Some of them said, well, they were awaiting the results. And when you wait, people who took it at the same time, we have already seen the results of those persons, right? When we discover, then they're selectively. The thing is bare corruption. Even before promotions were released this morning, people were told by policemen, senior people in the force, call them and tell them. There was a big scramble at the quartermaster store yesterday. Even though the promotion released today, quartermaster store people were sent to collect the badges of rank yesterday, preempting the Police Service Commission. You know, that reminds me of an incident in 1974. I got good memory, you know. I was a recruit then. On the 1st of July 74, they had 4th anniversary route march. Henry Fraser was the commissioner of police. And it was said that the morning the TSU men, no TSU wear the khaki clothes and the red stripe. If you see red stripe in the thing, TSU full up. Henry Fraser called, I think it was Mr. Gravesandi. TSU got enough crap. Apparently the promotion was made the afternoon before, this the Friday afternoon. And the result was embargoed, not to be released sometime, I think later the Saturday. But whoever it was, tell them. So all them I put on stripe to go up on the route march. Like Henry in his wickedness, we tell the promotion list. So all them had to take it off back. So we had yesterday, men sent to the quartermaster store to collect badges of rank. Men being measured for mesquite. Which brings me to the next point shortly. I can tell you all about the next point. Right, let me bring Mr. Conway, then we can move on. Time catching up with you. CC, anything you want to say on that?
Yeah, and just go back to Minister Ben. Here's the minister talking that this part of the succession plan in the police. There is no succession plan in the Ghana police force, none whatsoever. I dare them to produce a succession plan in the Ghana police. And also, there no career development plan. Because you gotta get succession plan, you gotta get career development plan, where you train them, where you prepare them to take up the position. So there's some nonsense you're talking that is part of the succession plan. There's no succession plan in the Ghana Police Force, and more so there's no career development plan in the force. Training is in a mess. Training is in a mess. They have no succession plan, and they have no career development plan in the Ghana Police Force.
I mean, I agree with you because you would know you are the training czar in the police force. You're the training czar. But let me say this to you: it's problems all over. I don't think we get time over the past couple of days. About 6 persons died on the road, and all these people are being rewarded for doing what? They're showing incompetence, and there's no need for you to be competent because you're going to be rewarded. I mean, it's the force now. Let me say this, and again, it's not good to generalize, but you got a lot of people in they're on hustle, and they're taking the cue from the people at the top. The commissioner, the wedding planner, said in a statement that he took $8.5 million from Amir Ahmad to finance Buta's wedding. The vice president said it is reprehensible, and the man get promoted. Let me tell you all about an experience I had on last Wednesday. As I said earlier, I came into the country last Wednesday. My son driving me along the East Bank, bringing me down. We come at a bypass, I don't to show the place yet, to get onto the Heroes Highway. We reached a junction, and a police vehicle was inside of us. A gray minibus with a police crest. It had lights and siren and so on. The driver, who was dressed in TSU uniform, looked over and made some gesticulation. We thought, because I discussed with my son, that he was trying to point us into the direction that we had to drive. So my son indicated to him, yes, I know that I got to turn that way to go to town. And then he proceeded to turn. Siren and flashing light came on. And then we realized that the man was pulling us over. So my son pulled in the corner and stopped. Right? The policeman came out of the minibus. Came out, had no address on, TSU uniform. The man came to the vehicle and listened to this. He used the siren and the light. He stopped the vehicle. It was my vehicle we were driving in. I know the man said? The man turned to my son and he said that, so my son said, is there a problem, officer? He said, I get a barbecue. I want to buy some barbecue tickets. He had the tickets in his hand. Well, I see all sort of color sitting in the passenger seat. This policeman pulled us over, lights and siren. I got the number of the vehicle and all of that. He had our name tag and so on. I saw, pull us over, lights and siren. And then he pulled us over because he said he got barbecue ticket he wanted us to buy. Well, I tell you, I chased him from the vehicle. I said, that is what you pull this vehicle over. Get away from here. Get away. And then he watched, he looked a little alarmed. He was want for no talking to him. And I chased him. I said, get away from this vehicle. You stop us. We believe that something might have happened, and you want to buy us to buy barbecue ticket from me. He stared. I don't know if you recognize me. And then he hurriedly and sheepishly left and went back to the vehicle. What is our hustling culture? $60 million is a brutal thief. And the evidence surfaced that this $60 million was withdrawn from the bank by an inspector who got promoted today. She was accompanied by it is alleged that she was accompanied by the personal assistant of the commissioner. The personal assistant of the commissioner accompanied her. She took it in envelopes, $60 million, brown envelopes. That is for the statement she gave. She took it to the commissioner's office, where she handed it over to Brutus in the presence of the commissioner. And what happened? They come in and talk about Walcott, and they come in and talk about all this other thing. Corruption at the top, what you expect? What you expect? Monkey see, monkey do. Yes, Alvin, he didn't recognize. Well, he might have recognized the voice, even though he might not have recognized me by my face, my good-looking face. He might have recognized the voice, and he left. That is what you have in the place. And again, I say, they are decent, honest, hard-working police officers. And when I say officers, are using it generally here, all ranks. But you have these miscreants who are being, look, when we go into this list, we can tell you about some of them who are alleged to have been in all sorts of criminal activity. They get promoted today. All type of criminal activity. And this seems to be another list that was sent to the commission, and they just rubber stamp it. Because people who retire already, they're on the list. Not who are retiring soon, people who have retired already. I'm going to give you all the name later. People who have retired are on the list. That is what you have. And today is the beginning of the annual police officers conference. Today, Wednesday, strange. I was caught unawares yesterday because I know normally the conference is over 3 days. It starts on a Thursday, it continues the Saturday, and it continues the Friday. It ends on a Saturday with the traditional mess dinner in the evening. They have used to get a morning session only on Saturday, where we would wrap up, do a press release about what took place in the conference. Got a team of officers we put together to give a conference statement. We call it conference statement. I had the privilege of being on that team several times. With Ivla Whitaker, we were all there, CC, put together a conference statement, right? Them things don't happen now. They don't happen now. And then during the course of the early afternoon, you will get a meetings to the mess committee and all of those things. And then you end the night with a mess dinner and you initiate the newly promoted officers. But I was surprised to see the thing start Wednesday. So it's today, tomorrow, Friday, and then I guess it can close on Saturday. And I made some note. I said it would appear that they have a lot to discuss. Because if you're going to extend it by a day, maybe you have a lot to discuss over the 4 days. And I want to know if they're going to discuss the biggest scandal in the police force, where Butas is alleged to have committed 261 criminal offenses. Are they going to address that? Are they going to look to see perhaps what went wrong so that it is not repeated? But then I don't think they're going to do that because some of the actors are there. Some of the major actors, like the finance officer, like the commissioner of police, them are all there at this conference. They are all there at the conference. They're going to discuss that. Are they going to discuss the frequent assault and the disrespect shown to members of the police force when they're on duty and plan how to deal with that? Are they going to do that? I have not seen the agenda. Are they going to discuss how to better equip ranks to deal with some of these issues, to provide them with adequate equipment, things like taser, pepper spray, bulletproof vests, and all of those things, helmets and all these things for these tactical people? Will they do that? You know, in fairness to, well, I like lots of fairness. When you have the situation in 2002 and everything where policemen were dying on the road, the government decided reluctantly to acquire some body armor, bulletproof vests, and all this type of thing. I was in Barbados at the time. Mr. Felix was the deputy commissioner, operations. The government, because I think we went nice, and decided that we should go and acquire some of these things. I went to Florida along with Mr. Felix. We visited 2 companies. And then when we settled on one to provide the equipment, we went there and we assist in the design. We said what we want. Because the standard things are standard bulletproof, and there's certain things you got to add to make it more protective. And we did that. Ceramic plates, ground protection, and all those things. We did that. Shields, helmets, all of those things. We did. We sat down in the company and we ordered those things. I see policemen riding around with some things looking like bulletproof vests. And I often wonder, what is the level of these vests? In other words, up to what type of bullet can they withstand? Because some of them look to me that they're below, they're perhaps level 3 and below. And if they're level 3 and below, and you have a lot of criminals out there with 9mm pistols and so on, policemen might believe that they are protected, but they are not. All of these things, are they going to discuss that to make sure that the policemen, when they go on the road, we don't have time to show a tape here, but I saw a tape. What time is it? I don't think we have time. Let me see. Let me show it. Let me show it. Let me show it. I think I have time to show it now. Where policemen are abused, and I wonder if this is the right one.
Yeah, well, this is the place is like where the man just ramsack.
Robert Juliet. Rich calling. Me?
This one. Look at this. Look at this.
Robert Juliet. Rich calling. Me? For the call sign. For which call sign? The call sign.
Go. I'm not going nowhere. No. You can't do that. You cannot. You cannot. As an officer of the law. No, listen. You cannot do that. This thing's simple. Comply with it. No, they can comply. Every police who are come pull and talk, how the fuck we gonna comply? How we gonna comply? And you can't say that. You don't tell me to tell. We come to it good. We come to it good. That's disrespectful. Lose the man, eh? He don't even have a talk. Lose the man. He don't even have a tag or a number. Sir, wait. Wait, sir. Wait, sir. Wait. Hold on. Sir, wait. Where is your bag? Sorry, go live. Go live. I don't live. You don't even have a number on uniform and he arresting people. I came back again. You do not have a number on the name. You assaulting the man. You assaulting the man. You don't have a name. Where is the name, sir? Where is the name? Why you want to pull out the You come to arrest somebody, it must be some farmer touch. Yeah, but why you bust the button from the policeman? No, sorry. You bust the button from the policeman. You don't know. I tell you. Leave that guy. Sorry, you bust the button. Why would you bust it? Walk. What for? Police are doing his job. Why is he talking about you? Walk. Let's go to the vehicle.
So we get this phone inside field space. Wait. There's a problem with them all the time. Yeah. Very disrespectful. No. Let him go. Where's the reason? Where's the reason they got go? Disrespectful. I want you to tell where's the reason you got go to the video? Where's the man? Why? Because you meet the media. Wait! You can walk up beside the police face.
Come out my face. I'm serious. You pushing me. Remove from my face, sir. Remove from here. Remove from my face. You're very disrespectful, you know. Hey, you're the police now in uniform. Don't forget to marry the civilian. And when I turn a civilian, I never come to you for nothing. That's for your fucking house. You, your wife, everybody. Hey, don't get shit to know. Yo, take your hand out the face, man. Take your hand out the face. Don't you touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Stop it. I was compliant to police harassment. You want it to go? Collect your friend's phone. There you go. You're going to stop this nonsense, Mike.
Disrespectful.
Hold your phone. Hold your phone. Look what this man doing. Look what this man doing. Sir. 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 Sir.
Now you stay away. You always have to come in and have from doing the work.
You just shut Leon, deal with this thing. Do nothing.
You left cause tell him about his wife and children. He disrespectful.
Sir, please back up.
You better stay away from me. Good. Because you get charged for obstructing.
You went right there, you ain't saying nothing. I tell you, talk to them, buddy.
Mahendra.
Move from there.
Please remove from the vehicle. Please remove from the vehicle. We came to your God, you know. You say you have problem. I came to you, God, you know. Ask who's the order for this vehicle. Tell you how to push it in the station. We come here, you're still in there on the music. That this is what do not touch me.
No, I did not touch you. Where did I touch you? Richie!
That's disrespectful.
Every minute they're going down, coming up.
Sir, please remove from the vehicle. Remove from the government vehicle.
You causing the police but his wife and children. You disrespectful. Fake and Richie.
Because he was encouraging it.
Hello, you don't come on this vehicle.
I think you all saw enough of that. You got about a minute more to go, but we pressed the time. And let me tell you this. There's everything wrong with everything that is taking place there. And that is why I make the point that policemen have to be properly equipped. Policemen have to be properly equipped, have to be properly trained. Now, let me say this. Let me say this right. Look at the part coming down to the end. I got to compliment that rank who this man gone up in the face and tell you about the wife and the children and using expletive and so on. A young Paul Slow, I'm not preaching violence here, but a young Paul Slow confronted with such a situation might not have shown the restraint that a young constable showed. I believe I will go to Loving Dare, Babylon Boops. Y'all know the song? I would have introduced, how would the part go? I would have introduced the jawbone. My butt would have been introduced to his jawbone. I was not going to stand there and allow that man to threaten me, my wife and me picking them and all this everything. No. That was over the line. And again, I have to compliment the rank for the restraint he showed. And I'm making the point because if he was perhaps equipped with pepper spray, especially pepper spray, he would have been able to deal with him. We're trying to arrest him. He would have been able to deal with him very, very effectively. But again, they're going out there and they don't have things to protect themselves. And that is part of the problem. That is part of the problem. And you know the people then? No, they're going to respect for the police, you know. And while in many cases the police bring that on themselves, in many cases, police bring it on to themselves, there's a general feeling that a certain set of people can talk to the police anyhow. I don't know what is the outcome of the matter, because I would not be surprised to hear that somebody called somebody and nothing had happened to this man who threatened this police, telling about the wife and the children as well. Well, I can tell you the policeman showed restraint, the type of restraint that I might not have been able to show. Right? Let me bring in Mr. Conway for his closing, and then we're going to move on. CC, we had a lot to talk about still, but your closing, and we can talk about looking forward.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about, you know, but just, you know, in the deliberations, I hope they look at the that murderous act that they had at Maikoni where 2 persons were shot. And I wouldn't be surprised if one of the shooter who they were covering, was promoted. I wouldn't be surprised, you know. And then there are so many instances where people beating up police and all kind of thing there. that perhaps police don't do unarmed comeback, perhaps police don't do self-defense, perhaps police don't know about anger management, conflict resolution, perhaps police don't know how to de-escalate situation there. I hope all those things, they discuss at the conference, their extended 4 days conference, They got plenty things that they have to discuss. And we have plenty other issues to discuss. And I think one of the burning one, I got mention it, is that the shooting of the army people and the response by the government and other, the police and the army and all of them. Maybe we'll deal with it shortly, but there are quite a number of issues, burning issues that we have to deal with very shortly.
Yeah, I agree with you. And having said that, I think the next scheduled date is Monday, but I don't think we can wait so long. So students, stay tuned. We're going to discuss and decide when we will come again. Perhaps over the weekend at some stage, we're going to come, and because there are lots of stuff. Mr. Kanu reported the shooting of the army, people in the Cayuni River. We have the murder of this woman by someone who shoots you with 12 rounds and they're dancing with it. We have quite a number of issues to deal with. The corruption, we haven't talked about the corruption yet with the Transparency International. We have not gone into that in any great detail. And we have many other issues that we want to talk about. The last weekend, deadly weekend for traffic accidents and other things, people drunk, Margaret stabbed and killed, a whole set of things over the last weekend. I hope they're going to sit down and deal with these things. I hope they're going to do that. You have all of those things to deal with. So I don't want to deprive you of your therapy. I'm going to give you your therapy now, and then we're going to give you a look forward. So here we go.
Sit there and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jurong?
Su? Oh, Su? My relationship? Nothing. He's a tenant in my place, yeah.
And he's a good friend of yours?
Yes, yes, he is a friend of ours.
He claims...
Somebody told me that they wanted to see the entire video, and it is on the page, it's on the speaking out page. So you can look to see the entire interview that they had there, because the allegation was this Su Jurong is a Chinese national living, as the vice president said, he's a tenant of the Chinese, he's a tenant of the vice president. And the allegation is that the Su is the middleman. He collects I think the figure called was $500,000 to facilitate business. Collect $500,000 on behalf of the vice president. That was the allegation. And it remains an allegation because, as I've said, they have never sought to investigate it. They even put Soku to investigate it. They have never investigated. And I continue to say, as long as that allegation is there and not investigated by some credible agency, the vice president ain't getting moral authority to talk about certain things. Tomorrow he can come there. $500,000 US. Let me make that clear. That's the allegation. The vice president shouldn't speak about these things. Corruption. So when you see the commissioner taking $8.5 million from businessmen, when you see $60 million and over the booters end up charging booters in the presence of the commissioner, where the little boy pulling me over to sell barbecue ticket. It is part of our hustling culture, and I need to deal with it because Transparency International downgraded Guyana's ratings in terms of corruption. In other words, they're more corrupt now. Somebody call it a downgrade or upgrade. They are more corrupt now than they were in 2023. That is what they say. They come out with that type of statement. And the double agent 007, he came out and have something to deal with, but I don't have the time now to deal with all of that. But I'm not allowing these things to go. So maybe now I have 5 charges now, 1 dismissed, 4 now are before the court. Irfan Ali had 19 when he became president. So maybe they're moving me towards that number, right? All false, all made up. All false, all made up. So folks, we are at the end of today's program. Time really flies, eh? Really priceless. And I want to say again, we made a special effort to be here this afternoon. I really dig up to make sure that you could have had this program. Because I've said before, later in the evening and so I get other programs. I don't want to be clashing with anyone. I want you to get the opportunity to get all the information. I want to remind you too to make your contribution, those of you who can. And again, I want to thank all those who have made contribution. And in closing, again, I want to thank all the former police officers, senior and junior, who turned up, and not only police officers, I should say, civilians turned up as well. Civilians turned up as well to support me today when I went to court. And I'm deeply grateful for your show of support. I'm deeply grateful. One man even accompanied me, kept me company when I had to go other places. And so I'm deeply, deeply grateful. And having said that, folks, again, I say, we are scheduled for Monday, right? But we're going to try to, we have so many things left back. So maybe Saturday. Stay tuned. Follow the page and you're going to get the notification. Maybe Saturday, we're going to come sometime Saturday afternoon, maybe around 4 or so, 4 or 5 o'clock Saturday afternoon, and give you whether it's a 1 hour or 1 hour or so to catch up with some of the things that we have left back. Because as I have said, I have to go to court now in this matter next week, Wednesday. So maybe, I don't know how long that is going to run. Maybe Wednesday, we might not have anything again. So, folks, again, have I almost said weekend. I thought it was the end of the week. So I just want to say to you, have a pleasant night and stay well. A lot of things. People are being killed, road accidents, people have been murdered, all sort of things going on. The flu, I understand, is still circulating. Be safe, and let me be safe, folks. And when we meet again, until then, have a good time. Bye.